Arccaptains sent me over another welder. As you know, I've been using this TIG 200P for the last few months, and it is phenomenal. So they sent me a MIG 250 to match the TIG. I believe this is the biggest MIG welder they sell. It's a 250 amp, and let's check it out. Now that I have the welder unboxed here, we can take a look at everything it comes with. We got an adapter to run 220 or 110. We got some spare tips and spare rollers too. That's awesome. So you can run different sized wire. We got a nice whip. I think this guy's like 10 foot. Pretty awesome. It looks super heavy duty. Like I've actually never even seen one this well built before. It's got little swivels here. Great design. Hopefully that stands up well. We got an electrode holder for stick welding, which I don't do a lot of, but sometimes I enjoy doing. We got ourselves a gas line, and we got our ground clamp and our instructions, and obviously our machine here with an electronic display. Let me just plug this machine in, then we can test out the functions. I like how it has this quick change out, so we can either have ground positive or ground negative. So if we're welding aluminum or something, it's easy to switch over. I've used machines in the past that were a couple grand and they weren't even this sturdy. So I'm not quite sure what everything does here. I'm gonna have to take some time to look through the instructions. We can do MIG, we can do stick, we can do TIG. So I guess we can do lift TIG with this machine too, which is pretty cool. And then you can also use a spool gun with this machine. I'll keep it on MIG right now because that's mostly what I'll be using this machine for. Wow, there's a lot of controls here. Okay. Comes with a whole bunch of stickers. That's always cool. Okay, so you can set it to different wire diameters and you can select different material types. So we can sort through our material types. If we're doing carbon steel with CO2, or if we're doing flux core, I'll be doing steel with mixed gas. After a little bit of reading, I'm pretty sure I got this machine figured out. So I'm just going to hook it up and start welding with it and play with the settings, because that's the best way to, you know, get dialed in on anything anyways. One of my favorite features about the Arccaptain welders is it's not always running the fan. As you can hear, it's not running. It just kicks on to cool the machine down and then shuts off again. So you're not always listening to a fan humming away all the time. Arccaptain was also kind enough to send me over some welding gloves. Super excited to try these out. You can't have too many welding gloves. I go through a lot of them because I wreck them pretty fast. I decided on the perfect project that I'm going to test this Arccaptain MiG 250 out on. So because I need to test out this MiG 250 from Arccaptain, I need to do a fabrication job, obviously, and took a bit of time thinking about what I'm going to build. And something I've needed for quite a while is some traction bars for the Amarillo. Because of this truck's 6-inch lift, it has a lot of axle wrap. And if you don't know what axle wrap is, it's basically leaf sprung rear ends. They'll twist the axle up when you floor it hard, and lifted trucks especially will have worse axle wrap. I will include some clips of what exactly that looks like. And you might think, oh, a bit of axle wrap, what's that? What's the big deal with that? That's not hurting anything. No, this is hurting something, because I keep having to replace support bearings in this truck. This support bearing's only, I don't know, a couple months old, and as you can see, it's pushing the bearing out this side, and that's because when the axle wraps and it comes forward a bit, and it'll shove the whole drive shaft forward, it'll bottom out this slip yoke, and it'll shove that support bearing forward, which is not good. So I need to make some traction bars, which basically go from the axle right at the bottom up to the frame, and it stops that axle from coming forward under acceleration. And I really want to do this because obviously I own a 1-ton for towing, and I don't want to be running a lot of load on it if every time I put my foot to the floor, it's destroying this support bearing. Because when these fly apart, they fly apart real quick and they make a real mess. And also, obviously, I don't want it to be wearing out my U-joints or my slip yoke any faster than they need to. For building these traction bars, I have some 1.5-inch quarter wall tubing that I'm going to use. So, from this bottom point, I'm going to want traction bar do I want to line up with the frame, or do I want to be outside of the frame? I guess I'll look up some design, but probably want to come forward. No, I guess it has to go outside of the frame. Otherwise we'll end up with it interfering with this sway bar. So if I get this guy to come up here a good ways in front of this cab mount, I'll be looking at about 5 feet. So I remeasured and I actually decided the length I'm going to go with for this guy is 5 foot 6 inches, because sometimes the first idea you have actually won't work out. And this frame rail is 7 inches wide. So the plate will come down 7 inches, and then we might have a mount that goes under here and bolts too. Otherwise, I'll just have it bolt straight to the frame here and have some little gusseted tabs that come out and hold the end of that heim joint. Now we have all of our parts for the track bar mounts cut out and cleaned up. Now I just got to weld it all together. So I'm going to be welding some 1/4-inch steel plates. So I'll use the guide inside of the welder here. For 1/4-inch steel plate, I'm going to go for 22 volts, and I'm going to go for 280 inches per minute. Very happy with these welds. They turned out really nice. No porosity at all. Nice and clean. I'm just going to stick with using the settings that the machine actually suggests to use until I get everything kind of fine-tuned and I figure out how I like things to be. But otherwise, these welded up nice. So basically, this guy will bolt up on the frame. I'll drill 4 1/2-inch holes for the mounting bolts and then a 3/4-inch hole through the middle. And this guy will bolt right through the frame and then through that guy out there. The reason why I have these plates and this joint here bolted up is just to make sure I have the exact right spacing for when I weld these tabs right to the axle tube, just so that way I know it's good, and they're also going to be square that way so they're not leaning off to one side or the other. These aren't the absolute best overhead welds I've ever done, but they'll hold. And for the end joints, I picked up some of these 3/4-inch ID tractor link joints. Now, I could have gone with heim joints, which are almost the same thing as this, but those are expensive. I don't know if you ever looked at 3/4-inch heim joints. They're like 80 bucks each. Where I picked up these guys at UFA, and I think I paid like $10 each. So $40 for 4 instead of, $80 each. And yeah, they may not be as strong as Heim joints, but they're not going to be for steering components or anything. They're just going to be for this traction bar. And basically they aren't a perfectly tight fit in this tubing I'm going to be using. So I'm going to cut out, I'm going to use the arc droid to make some little bung plates basically that go in there that weld these in tight. Now that everything's welded up and cleaned down, I'm just going to spray everything down with a little bit of flat black primer and then some gloss black and let it dry overnight. Here goes my nozzle. Every time I try and do something that I think will look cool, I end up failing miserably and looking dumb in the end, but whatever. Now that the paint for our traction bars and our mounts are fully dried, I can go ahead and install them. So what I'm going to do for these is I'm going to bolt up the bottoms to the axle, and then I'll lift them up so that way I can make sure the front mounting plates are fully aligned. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to drop out the fuel tank so that way I can bolt through the frame to put the mount on the driver's side, which will be that side. So basically imagine the mount goes to the frame like that. Traction bar comes down this way, and we're going to have a 3/4 inch bolt coming through from the inside of the frame. And this guy will bolt through the frame, through this bracket. So should be plenty strong enough. And that will just go right through the end of this tractor joint and should be sturdy. And after just a couple hours work, we have 2 budget-friendly traction bars. If you're looking for a welder for your shop or your garage, if you're a welder or a mechanic, you need a plasma cutter, MIG, TIG, any of it, go check out Arccaptain. They got sales on all the time. You can get really high quality machines for a fraction the price of those crazy high-end machines. And honestly, you can save some money without sacrificing quality. I'll be using these for all my upcoming projects, and stay tuned for another cat swap update coming soon.